Hello, sunshine. How are you guys today? Greg Montemino, here you go. It's upside down. Today is International Women's Day, and I would love to take this opportunity to just honor my women who came before me in my life, my family, specifically my grandmothers. I had two Spitfire grandmothers. I know that's probably shocking to all of you. Both of my grandmothers were outspoken, leaders of their time, lovers of their family, and always there to give advice, to bake something delicious. I definitely was spoiled when it came to food, all growing up. But they lived life on their own terms. My grandmother, Teddy, Estelle Patterson, she was born in Canada, grew up in Nova Scotia. So if anybody had any inclinations that I was Canadian, partly yes. Yes, I am. Hi, Canadian family. If you're watching, I miss you guys. I hope you all are well, and someday we'll be able to travel and see one another again. But she, married young, came down to the States, and man, was just full of life. She had 4 boys and 2 girls. So 6 children altogether. She lived until, I want to say, about 2010, 11. A very full life. She actually outlived 2 of her sons, which was so traumatic for her. Outlived her husband as well. My grandfather Dyke, he was a party too. My grandmother and grandfather were the people who held parties. They were the people who would shut down the streets at their home and throw this massive block party every 4th of July. They loved the 4th of July. They loved bringing people together and just having a good time. So much so that they would actually, to my understanding, practice skits and have props so that when they would go out on Wednesday nights, I think, they could entertain their friends out at the bars with their skits and their jokes. My grandmother had a sewing box full of jokes. And to be fair, they weren't clean. They were not clean jokes. Not even close. And they really just showed me that life is worth living when you live it in fun, in love, and with others. What have the women of your life showed you? What did they teach you as you were growing up? And how can you honor them today? Both my grandmothers were religious as well. They were active members of their communities. And they just made sure that the world was a better place with them in it. And it was. They taught all of us how to come together and be a family, how to support one another, and how to love. I miss them so much. So much. My father's mother, Carol May Gray, yes, that's where I get my name from. She survived 2 or 3 crashes with a moose. Now, friends, up in Maine, if you don't know what a moose is, imagine a horse but bigger. Yeah, covered in ticks. She definitely had a guardian angel who watched over her at all times and just thoroughly believed that she was going to a better place. She made the best pies, literally world-renowned pies with the best pie crust. Don't ask me for it. I don't have it. I can't do it for you. My mother can, though. So, Mom, if you're watching, hello. Hi, Mom. I love you. But they always believed in using everything that they had, both of my grandmothers. There was no waste in our family. You didn't get the option to throw away food on your plate. You ate what was on your plate. That rhymed. But what that has taught me is to be grateful for what I have, to be grateful for the food in front of me and to not waste it, right? And I think that's a valuable lesson that today is not as much taught. We don't teach our children the value in what is in front of them and to utilize those resources and enjoy a good laugh around the dinner table together. One thing that I've tried to implement more and more in the family I'm in now is to sit down at the dinner table and put away our phones. Get away the distractions. No phones, no earpods. You're not allowed to have them at the dinner table. You have to sit there and actually talk to us. It's terrible, right? And listen to the stories, because someday those stories won't be there anymore. Someday, when you get older, you're going to wish your grandparents were still around. And you're going to cherish the fact that you did take the time to be with them and to love them and to listen to their crazy kooky stories about things that you don't understand because you didn't live in that time. But I will say that I've always felt like the generation of my grandparents, who at this point would be well into their 100s, was probably one of the greatest generations of all time. They had so many wars and adversity and hunger and the Depression and technology changing rapidly. I don't know if there was ever a greater time to live through. And they did it with such grace. And they knew the value of what they had. What lessons can you take from your own grandparents and teach them to the next generation? How can we all embrace this idea a little bit more that what we have is enough? That laughter, love, and family is where it really is meant to be living, is where you should be thriving and enjoying. Not just watching the internet or trolling people on the internet. One thing both set of grandparents really instilled was, well, two things. One, the golden rule of treat others the way you wish to be treated. And that is something I've always lived by. I don't care what situation I am in. I don't care who the person is. Treat them the way you wish they would treat you, and you will always be better off. It doesn't matter what you're trying to accomplish and what your personal agenda is. What matters is that you treat them how you wish to be treated, and they will do so in return. And even if they don't, you've done the right thing. And the second thing that was really instilled in us was that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And unfortunately, that is definitely not taught in today's society. It is so easy for us to get on this internet and type in negative comments and spew our opinion without thinking about the consequences of how it will affect other people. I saw this post today. If you're a Toastmaster, you'll be familiar with this whole concept that it's contest season, and in contest season this year, it is all virtual. Of course, public speaking, you did it in person. That was the definition of it. And obviously we used to have contests in person, and this year they're not. They can't be. And there was this very negative comment that was very disheartening, saying we should just cancel it altogether because we can't do it the way we used to. And because I don't like the fact that I can't see you right now. You watching this right now, I can't see you. I don't know who you are. I don't know how you're connecting with me. I don't know if this is effective for you or if this is just me spewing information. And he didn't like that. And I want to challenge you to rethink this. When you find yourself in a situation that you don't like because there's change that is involved, that instead of being so negative, to not see that for other people, this is a blessing. And this is something that can push them forward. but to maybe understand that you are the person who needs that change more than anyone. And you need to double down and embrace it even more and seek out others who can help you learn more instead of just saying, cancel it all together because I don't like it. This cancel culture has got to stop. Our grandparents didn't do this. They'd be appalled at it. Instead, we need to embrace that maybe there's more to it and live like our grandparents would and see that they would have adapted, they would have moved forward, they would have used less, sought out help from others who are doing it and innovating and becoming new. So if you have nothing nice to say, instead of saying something super negative, frame it as a question that is inquisitive so that you can learn more. Today, I honor my grandmothers because without them, I wouldn't be here. I hope that you can take a moment today and honor a female in your life, specifically in your family, who helped you, loved you, and taught you some important life lessons. Happy International Women's Day. I hope you have a beautiful, thoughtful, embracive day. I will see you all tomorrow.